Greetings, friends. This Sunday, in our gospel reading, is that famous chapter after the resurrection of Jesus of revealing himself to the two disciples on the road to Emmaus. And I just love this chapter because Jesus reveals himself in two ways, okay? First of all, he reveals himself by the breaking of the bread. That's mentioned twice. That's very emphatic. That means he reveals himself through the Holy Eucharist. And the first revelation of that when they were in the evening, and as soon as they saw him break the bread, then he disappeared, which means he is really present in the bread that he left, right? That's beautiful. But he also revealed himself by describing to them how he fulfills everything in the Old Testament. I love this. He said, did not our hearts burn within us? Usually my heart burns after eating too much, Italian food, right? So the good heartburn's bad heartburn, okay? But the good heartburn is when God reveals himself, and Jesus reveals himself through Holy Scripture. And so I thought I'd make this a pitch for our study of Holy Scripture here at the church. In between the Masses, we have a wonderful time where I walk with parishioners through the Holy Scriptures and show, hopefully, at least a little bit, what Jesus and how Jesus revealed to himself through Holy Scripture, which is the Old Testament, right? At this point, we are in the book of Leviticus. You say, oh, no, I don't want to go into Leviticus. Hey, listen, you come and you'll see that study of the book of Leviticus is very, very exciting. Everything about Scripture is exciting because Jesus is exciting. And when you see Jesus in everything, then you get all excited about things, okay? In other words, heartburn, good heartburn, okay? And then I'd like to direct your attention to my website, ancienthopes.org. Remember, it's org, not com, org. And then you go over to the books of the Bible, and you will see that if you miss something in Sunday school, and if you start now, it means you've missed Genesis and Exodus. Well, that's a big, important hunk of Scripture, right? You can go back and see my post, right? And with each post is a podcast that Danny Gallagher and I do together. And I very rarely say that anything that I do is, well, I don't like looking at it. I mean, I don't look at these. I'm scared to think that people look at these pastorgrams because I usually just do these things off the top of my head. But I don't like looking at this. I never do. But anyways, I do really like listening to the podcast, not because I'm so great at it or anything like that, but this Danny is so good in interviewing. Danny is so good in producing these podcasts that I just want you to know that they're worth listening to, okay, if you want to go into the deep dive of Scripture. And of course, we want to deep dive into Scripture because when we dive deep, we find Jesus. And that is always good heartburn, okay? So, two things. Number one, come to Sunday to the Bible study in between the 8 o'clock Mass and the 10:45. And then look at the website, ancienthopes.org, and scroll to the books of the Bible. Start with Genesis 1:1. It's just a whole lot of fun. Okay. So that's it. God bless.